This is my informative speech on vegetarianism for my oral interpersonal communications class. There are many different ideas that could come to mind when you think about what a vegetarian is. There are advantages and disadvantages to leading a vegetarian lifestyle. Generally put, I would think that a vegetarian just doesn't eat meat or fish, but it gets much more in depth than just that. Some people avoid anything produced by animals, like milk, cheese, eggs, or anything dairy. Some people eat fish, but don't eat meat. And some people follow a diet of fruits and plants and seeds, and the list goes on and on from there. Another thing that varies is the reasons for becoming a vegetarian. Some people are vegetarians because they're following their religion. Some people are vegetarians because they're against animal cruelty. Some believe that it's just an overall healthier diet to follow, which is why a lot of people don't eat red meat because it can cut the chances of heart disease. However, when eliminating meat or dairy, or any of the above, you need to make sure that you're still getting all of your nutrients, proteins, or vitamins. One of the main problems vegetarians have is the lack of vitamin B12, which, if not fixed, can cause anemia. For the vegetarians that don't eat or drink any dairy, they could end up with a lack of calcium in their diet. Some advantages of being a vegetarian are that you might be in healthier shape. One study found that vegetarians have an overall lower body mass index than meat eaters. One main reason would be that poultry and red meat are one of the primary sources of saturated fat, which ends up causing high cholesterol. However, when going out to eat, being a vegetarian can become a hassle. There are not as many menu choices in restaurants or in cafeterias. I was a vegetarian for 6 years. I became one after my brother told me a horrifying story about how veal is made. So, after hearing that, I stopped eating meat but continued eating fish. I didn't mind not eating meat or chicken, and I didn't miss it much. However, I didn't exactly eat healthy. The meat in my diet was not replaced with different nutrients or vitamins or protein. I ended up just eating a lot more junk food. But I stuck with it. I enjoyed salads and pasta a lot, so going out to eat wasn't really a problem for me. However, when I entered my first year of college, after a couple of weeks of eating at the dining hall, it made quite an impact on my vegetarian diet, and I was soon back to eating meat again, because there really wasn't that many choices in the cafeteria that tasted good. Some disadvantages of being a vegetarian are that your body might be missing key items that it needs if you're not careful to replace them, like calcium, omega-3, protein, and folic acids. And that's just to name a few. Another disadvantage is that when you go out to eat, you only have a couple menu options compared to a whole menu options that a lot of the meat eaters have. Although vegetarianism may sound a bit weird to some people, it's a lot more common than you might think. People you may have heard of that are vegetarians include Prince Fielder, Alec Baldwin, Pamela Anderson, Leona Lewis, Mike Tyson, Carrie Underwood, which are just to name a few. The list goes on from there. I've described the vegetarian lifestyle along with its advantages and its disadvantages. Being a vegetarian works well for some people, and for some people it doesn't. The choice is yours.